We're recording now and we're going live now. I'm so excited. We're back on track. And again, we have been in communication with great people and we have some great and exciting things coming up. That's why I keep pushing. Team ECI is back. All right, tonight we are presenting on credit and LTV loans. Please watch and tell a friend. And then, as you know, we also put these on YouTube at the end of the evening, as many as we can to keep the information circulating. All right. Oh my God, am I not spelling tonight right? Oh no, I spelled tonight wrong. That's so sad. Okay, what am I doing wrong? Tonight. Isn't that night tonight? Did I spell? Am I spelling things? Nah, bro. I've been spelling night wrong. Okay, I got it. Oh, weird. Oh, there was a period after it. Oh, sorry, everybody. All right. I feel like we're on live. People are liking our messages and everything, so that's really great. People have been liking the flyers. And last week we had a ton of hits. We had a ton of hits from Instagram. Woo, Instagram was on and popping. So let me turn on Instagram in just 1 second. Oh, Nia 2X from Washington, D.C. is calling. I can't pick up now. Let's get Instagram on. But we are live. I am working on a few different devices right now. That's why you don't see my excuse me, my face on the camera at this moment, guys. But I just wanted to let you know we are live and we are ready to get started. Sorry about the later time, everybody. It's been a busy day here in New York City, as always. And tonight we are Team ECI, the Economic Crisis Initiative, where we just want to help you increase your wealth and decrease your debt by giving you a number of platforms and a plethora of information where you can learn things like credit repair, credit score, renewals, or how to increase your credit. And we want to just share information like, accessibility to NACA, a great program where you can get help, buying your first home. We also want to share information like cryptocurrency, as well as life insurance, and just a number of different things that really needs attention in our Black and Brown communities in particular. So without further ado, my name is Anaya, and I'm going to turn it over, to my sister in the group, Miss Madeline. She is so great. Miss Madeline, if you can unmute yourself and share who you are, that'll be superb, my dear.
Sure. Good evening, everyone. My name is Madeline. Nice to see you all. Larry, I got my book. I wanted to show you. I am ready to take these notes. First and foremost, Anaya and I met last year, and yes, it's been a great blessing having her. And the groups and the support communities that she has helped me to connect with has been wonderful. Yes. What do? I'm an educator. I'm a children's book author. I focus more on Haitian history. I feel sincerely that our kids don't know their history, and that's just not just Haitian, but Black kids in general. So what I do, I have a platform called Haiti Decoded, but for right now, I'm a student, I'm a novice, and I'm ready to learn, and I'm so happy to be here with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. Thank you. And ever since we met, we have been connected and doing great things in our community. And real quick, can you share with them, because this is the time to share some of these updates, what you have going on for May? I know you had mentioned it. Tell us more about May 22nd. Let's get the people on board already for May.
Sure. So for May, we're having our first event as a brand, and it's going to be a discussion about, just history, and in general, we'll have some health information that we want to share with the community. It's going to be Sunday, May 22nd. We're still working on the time, but it's an event in Brooklyn. It's in person, but will be recorded. I'm working on the flyer. I have to finalize some guest speakers like Dr. Umar Johnson that I reached out to. So once I have information, I'll be happy to share. And would love to see you guys in any capacity.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So awesome. Thank you, my love. All right, all right. I think our next person is Dr. Magali.
Oh, it's funny. So one educator after another.
Yeah.
Madeline, I'd love to meet you. I can't turn on my video right now, but I can speak. Good afternoon. Oh, I'm sorry. Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Magali Alexis. I'm a New York City middle school principal. I'm also an executive board member of an organization known as Resilient Young Minds, where we provide support camp to students who have experienced trauma, students as well as adults. The organization provides free services to students anywhere, regardless, from 9 years of age to 18 years of age. And for those who are in Rhyme long enough, when they're graduating high school, we offer college scholarships to help support that transition into college. I'm also an executive member of the Society of Haitian Supervisors and Administrators. I'm the vice president of that organization. That is an extension or an umbrella of the CSA, which is the Principals Union in the city of New York. And I'm also on the New York City Elementary School Principals Association. I'm on the board there as well. And, my passion is to not only support instruction for students and families, but also now as part of the work that the Society of Haitian Supervisors and Administrators, we're doing that work to help empower other Haitian educators who are in the system, to mentor them, to help teachers become APs, APs become principals. But we also want to tap into the parent community to help teach parents, educate parents about their rights and how to navigate the process. So I'm happy to be here. I met Anaya last fall. And it's been sometimes there's an expression that says people are in your life for a reason or a season. So this is clearly for a reason, because I love her energy. And clearly, I think we all have a lot to offer in terms of uplifting the community. Thank you.
Thank you. And you know what? I just wanted to share too. It's not just a season and a reason, it's a lifetime. Hopefully, we're all connected for a lifetime, Dr. Magali, because that's what I'm looking for us to continue this work and really share with those that are coming after us. So we're live on Instagram, everybody. For those that are watching on Instagram and Facebook, again, this is Team ECI, the Economic Crisis Initiative team, where we're bringing great information and obviously great resources and great individuals in our community that are leaders, that are doing a lot of amazing work. So I'm so excited for those that are already here with us, and for all of you that are joining in on Instagram. I'll put that number for you to join us on Zoom if you choose to do so. If not, you can watch right here on live. Thank you so much, Dr. Magali. All right, now we have, oh, she said, you're welcome. Yes, honey, yes. We have so much more work to do. I'm so excited. Awesome, awesome. And now we have Dr. Exuma.
Hi, everyone. Always happy to be here because it's a lot of sharing going on in Team ECI.
Yes.
And that's important because information is key, especially in the world we live in right now. So any bit of information you can get is always very powerful. So with that, my name is Pierre Exuma. I've been here like a while right now, but I've met Anaya in a long time, probably 3 years.
Yeah.
And at the National Action Network.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, my life is surrounded by very positive people, and I'm happy to be here. I also have quite a few things that I do, and basically, I'll be more than happy to just participate and bring more information so that we stay informed and
Okay,
we stay empowered. Thanks, Anaya,
you're
for the
welcome.
opportunity.
And next week, I believe you're presenting, correct, Dr. E?
Yes, I'll be happy to present. I think that's the second presentation that is long overdue, because we had a first presentation like in a while right now, but Anaya is very busy. She's a queen. We understand. So, myself, I'm very busy. So, but
Yeah.
that's gonna be the second time. And basically, I won't just talk about life insurance. I will be talking about legacy in general, because yeah. So that's gonna be next Wednesday
Perfect.
around the same time today, probably 6 or 6:30. Is that correct?
That's correct, 6:30 or 7.
Okay.
Okay, so we will have
Mhm.
that presentation by the one and only Dr. Exuma, where we'll talk about life insurance and the different great things that he's doing. Whoa, we have a lot of people watching live. You know, sometimes I totally miss these platforms. Oh my God, we have 7 comments real quick before Larry even starts. For those that are watching on Instagram, I had no idea you guys were watching. Thank God I'm using 4 different devices right now. So I'm on the laptop and 3 different cell phones, and I just happened to drop my eyes down. So Francesca, let's shout the people out real quick, Larry, and then you're gonna start with your platform, because I want to acknowledge those that are watching. So my girl Francesca Charles is on. Whoop, whoop. She's so amazing. I love her. Darlene Armstead is on. She's watching from the National Action Network. She's watching. Love her. Christine Hollings, all the way from England. England in the house is watching. We have Gregory Roberts, all the way from the BX. BX Stand Up is watching. And we have Sony Sober, who is a business leader, entrepreneur. He owns his own restaurant. Amazing, amazing gentleman. Matter of fact, Dr. E, you'll remember when myself and Evie were doing the 1st of January Soup Jumu experience, we were at Sony's restaurant in Brooklyn. So this is so exciting. Sony is here watching. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remind them, if they wanna join us on the Zoom, let me just give them that Zoom access so they could join us, because sometimes I don't even have a chance to look down. And for whatever reason, God had me look down. Before Larry comes on with his presentation, Zoom in now. I'm telling my friends whom I love all these people. Oh, Tawana's also watching. Tawana, AKA Anaya, and I think it's Anaya as well. We have like the same name, but it's just spelled differently. She's a part of Team ECI. So for those that are watching now, if you can hear me and see me, go ahead and dial this number in on Zoom. There's no password. It's 436 903 4585. 4585. Again, 436 903 4585. Please Zoom in if you can. I want to give everybody an opportunity to be a part of the Zoom for you guys to get to know each other. I love you all so much, and I'm so happy that you're here. I miss you too, Gregory Roberts. He's like my best friend out of the National Action Network. He misses me coming every Saturday, as well as being there on Monday nights. So God is so faithful, and we have a ton of people watching us right now on Instagram. So if you're watching on Instagram and you want to join our Zoom, this is a very big presentation that we have. And every week, let me just share this before Larry comes on with the information. Just to let you guys know, we take this very seriously, because we are giving you information that you more than likely wouldn't have access to otherwise. And so that's why every week is imperative that you try to join us, no matter what you're doing. Thank you for joining us on Instagram and Facebook, but we want you to have the opportunity to join in on Zoom as well. That's why I took the time to shout each of you out who's watching. Now on Instagram, it's a little different because the screen moves very quickly, but on Facebook, I can definitely see that you're watching and you're leaving comments. So for all of you watching on that good old Facebook, I just dropped the link there. Please join us. And at this time, since nobody else has joined us live, we're gonna go ahead, unless there's any questions and concerns, before we let Larry on? Dr. E, no? Oh, you
Just
unmuted
want to
yourself.
welcome Larry.
Yeah,
I feel like calling him Larry King, but
right. I almost made that mistake a couple of times myself.
I can't wait to
okay.
learn from his presentation.
Listen,
Go
I'm
ahead,
back.
brother.
I'm back with the information.
Woo!
You know, I'm bringing it to the people. You know what I'm saying? So, a little bit about myself.
Yes.
I'm an entrepreneur. I'm also back in school full time to get my degree. It's been a long time coming. And my passion in life is everything all around finance and world travel. That's my personal passion. So, without further ado, let's jump into this presentation.
All right. And real quick, Larry, why did you choose this presentation before we put it on, before we even get started?
Well, I chose this presentation because at the end of the day, I don't care what no other subset group of people say, Black people are still the most marginalized people in this country, if not in this world. And there's a lot of people out here who they live every day, they work hard. A lot of people aspire to home ownership. And a lot of people believe that they cannot achieve home ownership. So a lot of the topics I talk about show that I'm not going to say you can easily do it, but with the proper steps and proper guidance and proper knowledge that you can achieve home ownership. And you may be closer to home ownership than you even know. So I would like to bring this information to the people so you can see it. Even if you want to kind of do like me, if you want to be a real estate investor, there's financing out here that's easily attainable. So that's why I'm bringing this information to the people.
And real quick, I wanted to ask you another question, because we're going to have another NACA presentation very soon. But in the interim, give them a little foresight on how this whole thing kind of started with like NACA and what you have shared in the past just before, so people can get a little background as to why we have this topic.
That's easily attainable. So that's why
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So NACA was started by a
go ahead. We're getting a feedback. Sorry, my dear. Go ahead.
NACA's a nonprofit organization that was started by a group of, believe it or not, activists.
Yes.
Not no big corporation, but literally a group of activists, because banks, financial institutions were discriminating against lower income people. Now, let me say this. They were discriminating against lower income people, not necessarily Black people. But we do know that we still fall into that category of financial discrimination. So what they did was they created a system to where they can circumvent some of the major banks, and they actually partnered with one of the major banks to create a program and a financing tool that is, I think, is one of the most unmatched. So they do have a partnership with Bank of America, and I just think it's real dope. It kind of takes the responsibility away of complaining that you can't do nothing. You know, everyone can achieve home ownership. Absolutely. Everyone can. And NACA is one of those programs that it really will allow you to do it, especially if you're low to moderate income. You know, whether you're in HUD housing and you get the voucher, whether you're on Section 8, they have the program for that too. And I'll share that more in the presentation. Perfect. But it's financing all over the place. But we got somebody else that just came in, so.
Oh, okay. That's perfect timing. Who just came in? Please introduce yourself. We really want to meet you before Larry gets into his presentation.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Oh, my big brother.
It's Robert Joseph.
Big brother, tell the people a little bit about you before we get into the presentation. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Basically, my name is Robert Joseph. What can I say? Where I need to start? Okay, basically, I'm a business owner. I've been doing different things. As a former law enforcement, I have a security company. I do private investigation, and I'm currently owning my own mortgage company. You can see that Joel's Mortgage. That's my own broker company. So we just get rolling, and that's pretty much that's all about us.
I love it. And you picked a great night to join us. He's in the mortgage business. He's a business owner. He knows all about this credit life. So this is so great that you're here with us. This is why we do what we do, because the more that we share is the more that we grow in our communities. And let me just share this about Mr. Robert Joseph. I respect this brother so much. I don't know if he knows how much I respect him and love him as a leader in our community. He takes action, and he is in a very, and I want to say this, and I hope nobody takes offense in South Florida, but he's in a racist town, a racist, horrible community that I hate personally.
Where are you at in South Florida? That's
Listen, listen, the Treasure Coast, ooh, Miami, Palm Beach, all of them, racist.
Oh, it's not racist, just a little prejudice. Just a
Okay,
little
whatever.
prejudice. It's not racist. Not racist.
The bottom line, he's a Black man. He has his own office. He has his own team, and he's doing big things. So I know it's not totally out of, you know, it could be worse, but I just personally had that to share, and I'm so proud of him. How about that? Sound good?
Mr. Joseph, I'm happy to say I don't know you from nothing, but I'm glad you're here tonight. You know, I'm doing a presentation on LTV loans. You owning a mortgage company. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with the LTV model.
Yeah, yes, basically I know pretty much about LTV. That's I hope more people should be attend those things. They should know, because a lot of time people don't understand like loan to value. When they buying property, they don't understand how it works. So pretty much I was like, I'm gonna listen to your presentation. I'm not gonna make any comment, but I think those things, if we can get more people from the community to listen to those conversation, to know, and when they try to get a loan, sometimes they don't know anything about the loan. They don't know sometimes, and that's the moment they're gonna buy the house. That the moment they don't know that it's time they're gonna shop in the credit card, stuff like that. And at the same time they're buying cars. So they basically it's a process when you buy a house. I'm gonna give you something right now. And my first son is 20, just turned 20 years old. Okay. At 20 years old, I make sure he bought his own condo on his own name, because I've been working on that.
What?
Yeah, he's bought his own property in Jacksonville, because that's where he go to school. He's bought his own property versus waiting rent or go to live in the school. It's got kind of very expensive. Send him in the mortgage, and I try to teach him how to build his portfolio, his real estate portfolio. By the time he's 20, by the time he's 30, 35, he can maybe like $2-3 billion on the real estate. That's why I'm working on the kids, because what you're doing, guys, is amazing. It's very important for the community to know about it. But I hope more people, when they get those invitations, they just come in and listen.
Okay.
Wow. Thank you.
So does your son go to North Florida?
Yeah, he go to North Florida State University.
Okay. Yeah, I got a couple cousins go to North Florida. They live in Jacksonville. So yeah, I'm familiar with the college. But yeah, but albeit I'm not a specialist, you know, I do a lot of research. So with you having real life experience, if you want to chime in to possibly correct something, I wouldn't mind you doing that.
Oh, no problem. If I have to, yeah, but you got the floor. I know you're gonna do your best.
All right, appreciate it.
I love my team. And yes,
Dr. Eczema got a question.
oh, Dr. E has a question. Go
My
ahead.
uncle got a question.
It's a quick comment. I want to congratulate I think friend Joseph's son,
Robert Joseph. Yep.
Robert Joseph, and I think that's a great thing that is done. Basically, and what I want to add to it, it's important to do the same with credit. It's important to start building credit very early on, because credit, besides the citizenship, besides residency, besides a job, credit is another very, very important thing. And not only for the purpose of buying a house, but it's like another type of paper documentation that you need if you need to live in that very advanced and very economical society, which is America. This is capitalism, and basically you need to be ready and have a good credit is something that's important. And you can start helping your kids build their credit as soon as 16 years old. When they start getting to age to get into your bank account, your financial, when you can add them by making them a proxy, you can start helping them build their credit. And you can do it as simple as let them buy their books from Amazon and then give them that credit card, make sure that they pay on time. And this is really important. By the time they turn 20, 35, 25, I mean, when they're ready to go into mortgage, then they will be ready. Because one of the key thing about mortgage also, and I'm not trying to digress, Mr. Larry, I know you're going to emphasize on this as well.
Take your time, brother.
It's credit. Credit is key.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm gonna take a one second. Like I said again, those conversation. I hope more people just come in and listen to the conversation. That's very important. And even as a mortgage worker, I'm the one who did my son loan. Okay. And even the bank, when I was talking, I don't know if anybody familiar is with UWM, they don't understand that a kid 20 years old, his middle score is 884.
Wow.
784. I mean 784 is credit score. The middle credit score. Okay, that's something, like I said, I've been in the market. I know how it is, and because when you're buying a house, at least you need to have 2 years work experience. And as a business owner, all my kids, I make them work since they was like 13 years old. They work for me, and they have to work to get paid. And there's a lot of things, like you said, people need to know things. They need to listen. They need to listen to people like you who's talking. They can take those important milestones and for their own self.
Thank you. And I know your children and your family, so I can actually say this man is not lying. I've known, and to think that my little guy is already 20, I feel so old right now, but that's another story. I digress. Dr. Magali has something that she wants to share. I love what's happening, and we have new people that have joined us too, by the way. Go ahead, Dr. Magali.
Thank you. I just wanted to expound on some comments that were made in terms of credit. Credit is not only important, it is vital to one's success in America. How, even separate and apart from home ownership, in my profession and many other professions, if you have poor credit, when you apply for a job, they do a credit check. And if you're not financially responsible, you will not get that job. So, one. Two, there are various apps for financial literacy for us to begin to educate children about the importance of money. And we need to keep those factors in mind. So, and three, not only is home ownership vital to our survival, but it's also important in terms of generational wealth. I think it's Secretary of Finance. I may have the title wrong on the Biden administration, but her name is Yellen. She put out, actually, she has an article out about how American economics was never created to support Black America.
Absolutely.
And so if I can find it, I will forward for you to share, Anaya.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Any information, as you know, this is such a hot topic. And I think that's why everybody is chiming in who have their stuff together. So I'm so happy that we're doing this tonight. Larry, real quick, because you done started this thing, Larry. We got 2 more people that joined us. Is it okay if we take 2 more people that introduce themselves, Mr. Larry Robinson?
Hey, let them go ahead and get in. Let them go ahead and get in.
All right, perfect. Welcome. I see Jean L'Espérance. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Jean, would you like to introduce yourself? Jean L'Espérance, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, hi. Welcome to Team
Hi.
ECI.
Okay. My name is Jean Lesmans. I'm a teacher. I have my MBA,
Oh,
and this is the first time I'm trying to get in touch. I mean, I will get involved in this type of very interesting and beautiful. Uh, I'm not saying show, but it's very informative.
yes.
And then I'm living in Florida, and then this is very very interesting, and then I really appreciate that, and I thank you guys for inviting me.
Absolutely. This is what it's all about. And the fact that you're another Floridian is so beautiful because we know how South Florida can be. So actually, everybody take the time while we're still having introductions. Please take the time to share with your friends before Larry presents. And don't forget, next week we're going to be talking about life insurance. And I know you all definitely want to join us for that as well. So definitely take the time to share this platform. And if you want to present at any time, know that you have a platform here on Team ECI as we continue to build and grow. There's a lot more coming, guys, a lot more coming. And I'll share more in the end about some of the things that we have up and coming. We don't just do these Zooms for no reason. We want to see everybody grow. We want to see you take advantage of the information we're sharing. Lastly, we are not advisors. We're not telling you what to do on this platform. That's my disclaimer. We're just letting you know some information you may have not had access to. So right now is the time for you to share this platform. You can go right on Facebook or Instagram. If you go on Facebook, it's Anaya A. period. You'll see us live right now, and you can actually share right from your platform to all of your friends. And then on Instagram, it's the Anaya A Show. And then you'll see flyers circulating with Larry's face on it, my face on it. But if you want to present, your face will be on the flyer as well. And we have a repeat ECI member who just showed up again after decades. But before we introduce Mr. David McFly Mims, let's get into speaking to iPhone. iPhone, you just joined us moments ago. I'm not sure who you are exactly, but please, please, please unmute yourself, iPhone. You joined just a few minutes ago. Can you unmute yourself and let us know who you are? Okay, not sure who iPhone is, but that's okay. If you want to unmute yourself, please feel free to do so. David McFly Mims, welcome back, buddy.
Hey, what's up? How y'all doing? It's a pleasure seeing y'all. Happy New Year for everyone. It's been a nice, interesting year start for the year. I'm a little bit exhausted. Please excuse my energy. I'm just here to enjoy the conversation, get some knowledge and wisdom. So please forgive me if my participation in speaking is limited today. So it's really a pleasure seeing everyone.
Not a problem. We know how that goes, but I think this is going to be a great topic for you to chime in on for sure. I'm so glad you're here. And I know Mr. Larry is glad too. That's your cousin, Mr. Larry. Amen to that.
Yeah.
So perfect. iPhone is still not unmuted, but that's okay. Let's go ahead. And okay, any last comments? Because we have a room full of people, which is so exciting to see. Any last comments before we start with the presentation? As you can see, we have the slideshow ready for you all. I hope I have it on the right page. I think Madeline just unmuted herself. Madeline, did you want to share anything, Madeline? Madeline?
No, I'm sorry, that was my son.
Oh, no problem. Hey, cutie. I know you want to join our conversation. We got to get the young people on board to learn this thing too very early. So that's excellent. Perfect. All right. I think we're good to go. Larry, I hope I'm on the right screen. Am I on the right screen, King?
You're on the right screen.
Thank you. It's all you, darling.
Okay, I know if anybody had anything else to say. So yeah, so tonight I will be talking about the LTV loan. And I just want to put this disclaimer out there. There's actually many different types of LTV loans, but the two in general that I'm going to be talking about tonight, which is going to be in the same presentation, the other nicknames for it is the 95 loan or the 97 loan. And the reason why those are the nicknames is because these are low down payment loans. So the reason why some call it 97 is because the financier will cover 97% of the loan while you put down 3%, or they'll cover 95 and you put down 5%. But that's going to be based off a few factors though. So by definition, the loan to value ratio is a measure comparing the amount of your mortgage with the appraised value of the property. So let me explain that. If you're looking for a property or you find a property and the property is valued at, let me see, y'all in New York, so I'll say the property is valued at $1 million. But the seller's asking for 700,000. That LTV ratio is going to be 70%. So they do a ratio first. Now with the LTV mortgage, and I want Mr. Robert to correct me, because the way it was explained to me, which I haven't done it yet, I'm going through the process now, that additional 30% that you didn't use automatically goes back into equity. Is that correct?
Oh, usually when you buy a property, the down payment is automatically go to the equity. Correct.
Okay. And so the rest of it is, the higher your down payment, the lower your LTV ratio, which is what he just said. Mortgage lenders may use this LTV in deciding whether to lend you and determine if they will require private mortgage insurance, which, like I said, every company is different. So if depending on who you're going through, you would have to ask them if you need PMI.
The PMI, if you don't have 20% down on the property, you're gonna have a PMI. That's a private mortgage insurance. It's not about your act. It's the insurance they impose on you to protect the lender.
Right, but I think that also depends on what type of loan you get, because the very first house I bought with my VA home loan, which they don't require PMI, and I put it down.
VA basically the government guaranteed that. The VA guaranteed. Okay, that's why VA you don't have it on VA loan, regardless. If VA you don't have it, but if you get FHA conventional, you're gonna pay insurance if you don't have 20% down.
So FHA now they require FHA now requires PMI.
They don't call it PMI, they call it private mortgage. They call it mortgage insurance, but it's the same thing. They change the name, but it's the same thing. You still have to pay insurance if you don't have 20% down. Okay. That's why most of the time, every time somebody buying property, if they got that more, like people who refinance most of the time, they always go to conventional, because when you got more than 20%, 80-20. So you do you refine if you got a more than 20% equity, so you don't pay that insurance.
Now, is that based off the institution or is that a time frame? The reason why I'm asking, the house that my dad lives in now, he has an FHA loan. He didn't have to get mortgage insurance.
No, you get it. You double check the mortgage statement. FHA drop it after 11 years. Mm-hmm. After 11 years, the FHA will drop it.
Say that again.
After 11 years, FHA gonna drop your mortgage insurance.
After 11 years, they jump your mortgage insurance?
They're gonna jump it. After 11 years, you've been paying the mortgage, then they take it off from the mortgage.
Okay.
They drop it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Conventional, as soon your property become, you have like 79%, you get to the 79%, they jump it. Or if you have improvement in the property, you change the kitchen, you change the bathroom, you do some improvement on the property, you can reappraise the property, and you prove them you got more than 20%, they take it off.
You said if you can prove that you got more than 20% improvement in the property.
Yes, let's say you just bought the house, okay? You bought the house like 2 years ago. You know how the property went, the price right now, the market is basically is a seller market. The price went up. So you have to get an appraisal and to show them, because they're not gonna you have to get an appraiser to show them and the reason, because the appraiser gonna get the comparison property, why the property value, the reason. And if or that case, if you make some improvement, you change the kitchen, you do something, you add a pool, or whatever the improvement you do on the property, you have to show them the reason, the how we get that value so quick.
Okay.
And after that, you send them a letter and they take it off.
Okay, now that makes sense. I wasn't sure if you have to get the appraisal and get it inspected, because some places you got to get it inspected and get the appraisal.
Yeah, different state might be different state probably got different laws based on the state. But in the state of Florida, they don't require it when you if you want to take it out, you have to get inspection. You just get the appraisal. But don't take me wrong. Sometimes the company use inspection for appraisal.
Right.
Sometimes they use that word too. Okay. Most of the time we say appraisal, but in the bank system they use inspection.
Right.
Does that clarify things for you, Larry?
Yeah. But like you said, different states, different things. Because even when I worked for the bank, they might accept that inspection as an appraisal. So, it just depends. Like you said, it just depends.
And this is why these types of conversations are so good, because a lot of people do not know these types of things and they get into some mess, signing off on their properties and then they get some bad loans and bad deals. But thank God for great-minded people, educated brothers tonight and sisters tonight. Praise God. Okay. Can we go to the next slide, Mr. Larry?
Next slide.
I love it. Oh, this is the opposite way. You know how this thing do. Hold on 1 second. Nope. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay, perfect.
Now, on these next couple slides, these are just prime examples of specific companies that use LTV loans. Ignore the Navy Federal. They don't have it. But Citibank, they got the minimum down payment, 3%. But what is not showing, and I just want to tell people this, what is not showing for a lot of these companies, they have, like everyone was saying earlier, you got to make sure your credit is right. A lot of them have credit minimums of at least 620, maybe 650. But just because you got that minimum doesn't mean you're going to get the 3%. And that's why I said earlier with the LTV, you got 97, you got 95. They may give you the 95, but you still have to meet certain requirements. But now I'm giving you examples, and I got these banks off of the Nerd Wallet. That's a site that's credible and finance, Nerd Wallet, and they'll actually give you a list of places depending on what you're looking for. Whether you're looking for a conventional, like my mortgage man down here said, you looking for a conventional, you looking for FHA, you looking for, I think it's 5/1 arm, you looking for the jumbo, all that. They'll give you a list of that. And they'll also,
sorry, real quick, Larry, go ahead and tell people why it's very important for them to know the differences and why they should educate themselves, or in my ghetto terminology, educate themselves on all of these different loan types. Because some people think, oh, I'm going to buy a home, or I'm going to take out a loan on whatever it is that they desire to take out the loan for, and they think it's one size fits all, and it's not. So just real quick.
Well, the reason why it's important, every loan serves a different purpose. Mm-hmm. Everybody's financial situation is different. You might look at somebody like me who was a veteran and think, oh, well, I want to get something close to the VA home loan. But if you live in a rural area somewhere, what's a rural area in New York?
Oh, child, let's Long Island. Just kidding. No, I'm just joking. I don't even know. I don't even know. Somewhere not. Modeling knows. Modeling, where's that town we talked about last week? That's kind of rural.
There's Florida, New York.
Oh, there's Florida, New York?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll use that for an example. We'll use Florida, New York, where it might be a whole bunch of trees and farmland. That person that lives out there might need the USDA loan. So
Wow.
every loan serves a different purpose.
Awesome.
So it's definitely important that you research every loan. You got conventional, you got jumbo conventional. There's two different ones. So every loan serves a different purpose.
Love it. Tell the people, because they be falling into some traps. Okay, go ahead.
Robert, you wanted to comment? I saw you was looking. Did you want to comment?
Who?
Mr. Robert.
I know. I just want that's your, like I said, that's your flow. But I'm not saying, because there's the difference when you work for the bank, and as a mortgage broker, we are no wholesale mortgage. When you're on a wholesale mortgage, for instance, if you go to Bank of America, you go get a mortgage. They only have one product to offer you. Either way, they can approve you or deny you.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're on the wholesale mortgage, we have like maybe like 20, 30, 50 bank we can offer you. If one bank you can't qualify for the bank, we can qualify for a different bank.
Mm-hmm.
And for instance, most of the time, like you said, the first thing when they have to do, because most, like for FHA, for instance, you can't use more than 50% of your LTV. For instance, like if you're making like 300, if you're making like $4,000 a month, for instance, you can't buy a mortgage more than $2,000. My mortgage cannot be than $2,000 because they still consider like the other bill you have, like for instance, your lot bill, your market, whatever you have to do. So you have you cannot use more than 50%, for instance, FHA. And most of the time too, the FHA based on the credit score, like you said, different criteria. And FHA, you can get up to 500 credit score. You can do a loan with FHA.
Right.
Versus conventional, you have to be like 620. Okay, so like when you go to jumbo loan, for instance, sometimes you got like people who self-employed, people who can't prove their income sometimes, or self-employed or business person, they can use like bank statement only. Sometimes it's based on the paperwork that people have, they can go. But the best, most of the time, the best loan people for first-time homeowner, people who buy the house for them to live, they always go based on the credit score. They will go to the FHA. FHA usually 3% down if you're first-time homeowner. If you go, oh no, not FHA. Conventional is 3%, and FHA 3.5% down.
Right.
And if you're gonna buy a second vacation home, you can still gonna go with the same down payment, and pretty much.
Right.
I
But
see.
now you can go to the next slide.
Oh, I see Dr. E is.
Oh, go ahead, Dr. E.
All right, very quickly, as a general rule, you need to have 30% of your mortgage as expenses. So when you purchase, it's about the same thing. And the second rule is that even after buying, because I've seen people spending all their money with closing costs and all of that, you need to be able to have in your savings worth any amount worth three times your mortgage. That's for safety. In case something happens, you get sick, you get COVID, and then you know that you have enough money to pay for your mortgage, especially during the first 2 years, because these are the time where people are usually struggle because you just came in with a large bill, which was your closing costs and everything else.
All right. Thank you, Dr. E. We're doing good tonight, y'all. I'm happy.
So yeah, these are also, so if y'all didn't know, SunTrust and BB&T are now Truist, they merged. So they offer a LTV style product, so does PNC. I think PNC is big up north. Am I right? Is it big up there?
Which one?
PNC?
I think PNC.
Feeling
What is it, Dr. E? I've seen a few of them.
PNC Bank, he says PNC Bank is up, it's big up north.
Right.
I said, yes, that's correct. In the areas of Philadelphia, Virginia, going all the way to New York, but mostly rural New York, you'll find PNC, not especially in Brooklyn, not quite often in Brooklyn and Manhattan, but I've seen a couple branches.
Same.
Okay. I don't think I've ever seen one. I haven't been all over Virginia, but I've yet to see a PNC Bank here yet.
Wow. is probably out some ways. I think I've seen in DC, if I'm not mistaken.
I think Dr. Magali got her hand up. I don't know if that was just up from the last time.
I feel like
It was up, but we moved on, so that's okay. Thank you.
But you just did you unmute yourself to add anything to this segment?
No.
Oh, okay.
All right, and as everybody can also see with these institutions, they're showing what the minimum credit score is. But like I said, even with that minimum credit score, I wouldn't advise nobody to, oh, as soon as you get to 620, just go apply. Like, at least try to get as high as you can. But, you know, I guess for whatever situation, if you got the right amount of money saved up, if you got the right amount of down payment, or whatever the criteria is, their minimum that they'll even consider you for is 620.
And you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that. Just real quick, as a point of reference, for you experts that are out there, of course, you can chime in on this. You know, a lot of times our community struggles with the credit thing. That's why we're also doing this evening, because the credit thing is so important, as Dr. Magali stated and others. What people have to understand is, don't try to go for the minimum. Try to get your credit fixed at least up, you know, quite a few notches prior to you trying to get these loans and things of that nature, because although it says minimum 620, that's going to definitely affect your down payment, your monthly, you know, rate, a lot of different factors, right or wrong, guys. Because I know for a fact, the lower that rate, that credit score is, the worse it is for you. And just recently, of course, we're going to do a whole nother thing on credit. Again, this is like a combination tonight. But recently, you know, I've been working on my credit a lot. That's why I asked Larry if we can please do LTV and the credit thing tonight, because it's so important that we have this understanding. I was in a car dealership with a friend who was buying a car. You know, and I ain't buying no car in New York City because there's nowhere to park, but whatever. And literally on the wall, it will say something like, great credit, and you can, like, you know, something about $1 million and great credit or something of that sort. And I was like, whoa, what does that mean? Because I'm still new to all of this, you know, grown-up stuff. And I was just like, wow. But in essence, the higher credit score is, the better it is for you as a community. So for you Black folks out there that don't like to pay bills on time and things like that, please try to work on your credit. It's so important, because that's the only way we're going to have anything in our communities. So I just wanted to share that. But of course, Dr. Magali is going to chime in, or somebody going to chime in on that topic.
So let me expound on what you just said. The
Okay.
reason why it makes a profound difference, the better or the higher credit score is, because the maximum credit score is 850. Your friend who went into the car dealership, if they have good credit, that means the interest rate that's available will be lower.
Yes.
And that's how you save money. And that's why it's vitally important to have good credit.
Thank you, Dr. Magali. That's so beautiful. And if anybody else wants to expound, because we want to really put it in your minds tonight. And some of the ways I know that we can save or help our credit is, you know, paying them bills on time and different things. But again, we're going to have another whole section on credit. But does anybody want to give any tips real quick about, you know, increasing your credit score? And then we can go to the next slide.
Well, no, I was gonna cut in and be like, you know, we got like 3 new people who have
Oh, we
introduced
do? Oh, Jesus. Okay, sorry. Dr. Magali was going to say something. Go ahead, Dr. Magali.
So I wanted to say that there's a Nigerian woman named Tiffany Aliche, Aliche, and her social media platform is Budgetnista. That's someone that we should encourage people to follow and read about. And there's also Oprah Winfrey years ago had Susie Orman on her show. Susie Orman has books about financial accountability and responsibility to help us in terms of strategies we should have in order to become more better stewards of our money.
Thank you. And yes, I see Tiffany's page often. She is like a former teacher that turned into like a multi-millionaire or something of the sort.
Yeah, I've been in Tiffany's group for like 10 years now.
Oh, wow. Thank you for telling us.
I remember when her group only had like 20 people. It was only like 20 of us in the group.
See, you've been withholding information. Let me take these new people that are on with us. Thank you for letting me know, Larry. I'll be
Really
letting them.
quickly, Anaya, I want to say I'm a member of the Live Richer Challenge that she does, Tiffany Elisha, and she has her book, Get Good with Money. And that book is just, it's the Bible of finances.
Oh, listen, for you smart people that know all this information that, you know, Anaya A is not privy to, please drop that in our comments. And of course, if you're definitely on Team ECI, I know this is a lot of work for you tonight, but please drop it in this group message here that we have, and then on Team ECI, and then I'll try my best to circulate it on social media as well. I can just copy and paste to social media, but I appreciate that, Madeline, and I appreciate that, Dr. Magali, and for Larry, that's been a part of these groups for 20,000 years. We're gonna have a conversation as to why you didn't fill us in, sir.
You didn't ask. If you don't ask, I won't say it.
Whatever, Larry.
So,
Go ahead.
before Larry continues, as someone who has been able to become financially independent, Tiffany, she now hires other people of color who are on a salary of 100,000 or more. And so I bring that up to say, you know, in the Haitian community, we often need to do a better job of uplifting each other so that climb, we don't forget where we come from and help others climb further and higher.
Honey, you are, listen, don't get me started, Dr.
This is
Magali.
golden.
Listen, I just got arrested for you Haitian people on a whole bridge, and they almost killed me on the Brooklyn Bridge. Don't get me started tonight, y'all. You know me. Woo, our Haitian people, take notes. We have to do better, but that's why this initiative is here for our people. Dr. E, give me 1 second, hold that thought, because Larry made me realize we have 3 new people here. Galaxy S10E, hold that thought, please, Dr. E. Unmute yourself, please, Galaxy. Can you introduce yourself? Galaxy S10E. It looks like you're unmuted. Okay, we'll come back to you, or you can, you know, jump in and introduce yourself. Telephone number ending, well, starting with 631. Can you let us know who you are, please? Okay, we have some shy people on this evening, no problem. We also have Mr. People on. People from Santo Domingo, he's Haitian descent and from the Dominican Republic, but I'm pretty sure a lot of this doesn't apply to the Dominican Republic community, so he's probably like, I'll catch y'all on the next round, but that's all right. We love you, we love you, we love you, Mr. People. Sometimes the conversations are so good and the information is so much, I forget that we have new people joining us. Dr. E, back to you. Dr. E, back to you. You had a question?
No, it was not a question. I just wanted to praise Dr. Magali for that, what she just said. And in any communities, when you look at growth, it takes a long time. It starts with education, but when you have people that can allow or take in young people that can follow their path and then help them and bring about some money to them as well, so they can replicate the system. This is so very much important, because most of the time you see generations dying, and that's why in certain cases we are not growing as a community. We need to be able to bring the next generation, so the next generation will do the same thing. That's how we can accomplish our goal, which is like basically bring wealth within the community, especially generational wealth. And why I'm saying this, I've seen people that own houses and then they lose it because the young people, their children didn't know what to do with it. So the next thing they do after they died was to sell that home. And most of the time it's for a bargain. So because they didn't know much more about that. And that's why I want to praise Magali for saying that.
Thank you, Dr. E. So true.
You know, there's a topic that we had mentioned weeks ago that we will need to visit. As we talk about generational wealth, home ownership, it's vitally important that regardless of age, that we help educate and empower our community about retirement savings. Because a number of people in the Black and brown communities, when they age, they have nothing to survive and have to go on Medicare, Medicaid, whatever. But in terms of their quality of life diminishes because they were uninformed about the processes of investing for their latter years.
You know what, Dr. Magali, Larry, this is what we're talking about. Dr. Magali, that's a presentation we're gonna need you to do, ma'am, because you brought this up months ago. And I know you haven't been feeling good, but thank God you are back, ma'am, because that is what I've been waiting on, for you to present that information in regards to, you know, retirement and things of that nature. So after Dr. E, then we'll go back to NACA, and then hopefully Dr. Magali, you can present, if you are up for it, what you just shared, because that piece is super imperative.
I'll be able to share that podium with Dr. Magali if she allows me to discuss long-term care, which is another big issue in our community. Long-term care. A lot of people can get qualified for the Medicaid or Medicare, substantial money, and they have to pay out of pocket, and it's a lot of money. 1 month worth to put one person in nursing home as between $9,000 to $12,000 a month.
Look, let's pause on that. We don't want to give people too much. We want them to be back next week. Next week, let's do a split platform. How about that? For both of them. So we'll talk about that offline to get the people prepared, because I know Larry wants to get us through this. But Larry, this is your fault, sir. You coming with all this great information tonight. Oh my God, I'm feeling excited. Woo!
Next slide.
Next slide. Okay. We got
Other way.
Other way. No, this is Alliant.
Oh, so like I said, again, you'll see where it shows 3% down, minimum credit score. So if everybody just wants to take time to write down these institutions, they can.
Or we have a website for them at the end, right, Larry?
We'll have a website for them at the end.
Perfect. Because I
But
know,
you know, some people like to see it.
Like Madeline with her notebook.
We gotta let Madeline see it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, she's laughing. Praise God. Let's go to the next slide. But Madeline, we're gonna send everything out to you for sure, and then everything goes up on YouTube afterwards. So, Larry, all of these are basically saying kind of like the same thing with the different banks.
Different institutions, and like I said, all the institutions that offer the LTV are not even on here. These are just the highest rated ones according to NerdWallet. So you might go to another site like Mr. Robert, you heard of bank rate. Yes. I'm pretty sure with the mortgage, you heard of bank rate might have another, you know, rank, and I trust bank rate as well. That's another credible website that in the financial field we use. But I'm just more so, I'm a little biased. I like NerdWallet because I feel like it shows more in-depth information. But Bankrate is also credible. So, you know, these are just top rated ones on this site.
Perfect.
It shows you the minimum what you need to put down. It shows you the minimum credit score. So, you know, that's just me being a little biased and me, you know, NerdWallet.
I love it. Oh my God, we just lost the page. Oh my God, I hate when that happens. Well, in the interim, let's ask this, Larry, since we have to get back to this page real quick. For those that don't know, and I think we touched on this before, but we have new people watching and new people have joined us. Real quick, Larry, isn't it true? Let me stop sharing because I don't know. I have to shut this down real quick to find this. Hold on, let's go to the whiteboard. Real quick, Larry, isn't it true that every state has a different format and platform and things of that nature? That goes for our friend, our brother Robert as well. Every state has a different set of criteria and things of that nature.
Every state got its own rules. As far as the financial rules, to be honest, whether you in New York, Florida, Virginia, I think the rules are pretty much the same. Of course, the income levels are different. So it's like, of course, the cost of living in New York blows Virginia and Florida out the water. but Florida's gonna blow Virginia out the water. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as the criteria, it's the same. To be honest, you need a source of income. You need a certain credit level. You gotta be approved for this loan with these requirements.
Okay.
Regardless of where you at, you can be in Washington, D.C., or you can be in Wyoming. The requirements, I feel like, are, depending on the type of loan you get, I feel like they're the same. Would you say that, Mr. Robert? They're about the same, regardless?
Yeah, basically, like you say, is federal government standards, guidelines. Is it pretty much set? But there's some program, when I say by state, like for instance, some state have different DPA, like down payment assistance. They have different stuff, different state. Based on the county, you can have different assistance for low income. For instance, you got teacher program, law enforcement program. But in general, when it comes to the loan, credit score, DTI, all those things is a federal guideline, is a FHA guideline. It's not state by state, but there's a few things like that you can find this type of loan in the state. You go to different type of loan, different state, you don't get it based on, like he said, based on the community. Because the bank, like I said, the bank, for instance, you can go to one bank based on the bank, because on top of the government guideline, the bank has their own guideline also. That's why you can't go to for instance, you go to Bank of America, you're not qualified, and you go to Chase Bank and you qualify with the same criteria. And on top of
that's what I was trying to get at. So I'm glad you mentioned that, Mr. Robert Joseph, because people have to understand that not every banking institution has the same type of information or guidelines. Guidelines. There's different banks with different guidelines, but I believe too some of them go state by state. So that's very imperative for people to know that before they walk in.
Not with those big national banks. When it comes to like Chase and Bank of America and Wells Fargo, it don't matter. They're gonna have the same kind of criteria nationwide. But like he said, depending on the states, you might got certain down payment assistance grants, and you might got certain New York State grants up there that might help y'all, with the mortgage. But those big banks, they gonna stay solid. Now,
let me give you an example. For instance, okay, to get an FHA loan, FHA, you can do FHA with 500 credit score, but it's very difficult. Most of people advertise it 580, but you can go all the way to 500. But some bank, for instance, I know like UWM, if you don't have 620, they're not gonna do FHA for you. And like I said, on top of the federal guideline, the bank, because the bank, the investor, so sometimes they implement their own guideline on top of the government guideline. So that's why it's different bank, different state, you might have different programs. And like you said in the beginning, you talk about credit score. You can have 620, for instance. You can have like not too long ago, but now the weight's going up a little bit right now. Just start getting raising a little bit. And 620, you might go to a place, you get like 3.5%. I know the bank might give you like maybe 3.2%. It is vary. Even the standard, but the bank has their own internal guideline.
And may I just add, that's why we have NACA, institutions like NACA in place, Larry, because some of these banks are so outlandish and crazy. They do some wicked stuff. Oh, matter of fact, let me share this real quick. Sorry, I just remembered. We have a major case happening right here in New York City in regards to a banking institution. It's in Brooklyn, actually. I don't know if you guys heard in the news that a sister, went with a mortgage company in particular, and literally they stole her money or wouldn't give her exactly what was owed to her, and now she's protesting against them. I'll get the information and I'll send that to all of you for sure on our group message on WhatsApp, because this is a real big crisis and we need to look into that to see how we can keep ourselves safe from these predatory lenders.
And
Right.
also, I'm gonna add something. And if someone wanna buy, like you wanna get a mortgage, you have to prepare yourself. You have to at least take 3-4 months to prepare yourself. You have to put your credit yourself. Check what if you have collection. If you have something who's not supposed to be in your credit, don't let when they pull it. It's gonna affect you. But if you work on it, work on your credit, work on your spend, how you used to spend. Because like the DTI, like I said, when it comes to the DTI, you can't spend more than 50% on your money you make for the mortgage. But they count all your debt, like for instance, student loan, car debt, and there's a lot of things I've seen people talking about lately, especially with experience, to report your rent, to report your light bill. That's a no, it's not gonna help you because it's gonna affect your GTI. It might help you with few points, but it's gonna affect you for how much you can qualify for the mortgage.
Wow.
And I'm gonna add on. I was gonna actually save that to the end, but he kind of already touched on it. So as far as, and he made a valid point, before you decide you want to jump in any type of mortgage or really any type of loan, I always tell people, check to see if you owe any money. Because honestly, when I look at, I'm not really sure how the Haitian community does things, but as far as the Black community, actual Black Americans, we have an issue with not wanting to address collections.
Mm.
And a lot of it is not our fault. So me being raised in the South, I was raised in South Georgia. There was a stigma of a lot of parents not also being financially literate. So the grandparents might put a light bill in their name and bam,
Right.
they'll let it go over. Now they credit jacked up. A lot of my cousins, a lot of my friends, they had light bills and mortgages in their name before they even turned 12. Parents reneged on it because they wasn't financially literate. I just was so lucky to have parents who just did not want to use my information. So a lot of times when I see people get disapproved, because one of the programs I had, which, you know, if people didn't know, I met Anaya through my mother because my mother is the president of the Richmond chapter of the National Action Network. My mother had a program where she was helping people transition from the prison back to society. They had an issue with that. I used to have a course where I would bring them along and teach them basic financial literacy. And when I would go to the bank and I would try to help them with things, 9 times out of 10, everybody had something in collections. Even when I would help her when we would go to the homeless shelters and people would get jobs and try to get on their feet, an issue that they really did not want to address. And it's big in our community. A lot of us have stuff in collections. Now, yeah, you can go ahead and settle out and pay this and it might be gone, but I always tell people, the easiest way might be the long way. Take care of everything in collections. Because here's the thing, collections affect one of 2 things. It affects the debt that you owe and it affects your credit. If Black people right now was to not have nothing in collection, that would flip the whole economy because we would have access to way more.
Listen,
and
Larry.
to add something what you said.
Sorry, real quick, Robert. I want to shout out my guy, Solomon Williams. He was just on with us, but he had to jump on another Zoom. He's one of the people also that I wanted to introduce themselves because of his vast information on credit and expanding your credit score and things of that nature. So what we'll do is we'll have him back on another session. But let me tell you guys something. I don't want us to deviate too much off of the topic because what Larry just introduced, I didn't want to bring it up in the beginning or in the middle because I knew we would be on this topic for a long time. It's not just the Black American community, it's all Black people, I think, that have gone through this thing. I think a crooked woman in my family I'm not gonna say her name because Lord knows. Anyway, she wasn't, she was what you call external or whatever, married in, whatever. And I think she tried to put something in my name. And when I caught wind, I almost ended up at Rock Road, which is a jail in Fort Pierce. Praise God, ain't nobody got time for that. So Black folks, you have to stop. But you know what? It stems from a long background. That's why I'm going to save this conversation for the end. So Dr. Magali, hold that thought. What I wanted to share is if you're not already a part of our Team ECI group, please take the time to send us a friend request, a WhatsApp message right now on WhatsApp. It's 347-617-6873. Again, on WhatsApp, we're 347-617-6873. We have a lot of great interaction happening right here on Facebook, which is so amazing. Somebody named Tina just wanted to know if she could talk to anybody personally about what's happening. Again, the disclaimer is this: none of us are saying, we have, experts here on the platform, but we're not giving you advice tonight. We're not telling you what to do with your money. We're not telling you what to do about getting a mortgage loan, etc. We're just giving you the information so nobody can come back tomorrow and be like, Anaya A and her team ECI said, this is what I should do, and now I'm in trouble. No, Anaya didn't say nothing for you to do nothing, either did team ECI. We give out information that's presented to us, and we also do a lot of research, and we do presentations that is that you can find online yourselves. So that's one of the next slides that we're going to present, because we don't want anybody to come back to us and say anything derogatory, that we forced you to do anything, because that's a lie, and everything is documented right here on our platform. Team ECI was started so that we could have these conversations and expound our knowledge in our communities, because a lot of us are illiterate when it comes to finances and financial growth. That's why the main motto is to increase your wealth and decrease your debt. And then next week we will have more presentations. But on Team ECI, we have a number of great leaders. Larry is my main go-to guy. That's why he's been presenting a whole lot, because he comes with facts and data and information so that he can show you on a slideshow presentation. We also have Dr. Exuma, who has come with great presentations in the past in regards to life insurance and different things that he is working on, which is amazing. And we're looking to expand, and we're looking to have more presentations, because everybody on this platform has a different set of skills and has different things that they can add to these conversations. And as you all know, we just formulated a platform for next week, which will be like a partnership with Dr. Exuma and Dr. Magali joining forces for next week. So that's what I wanted to share for those that are still watching on Facebook. Thank you so much for still watching. Real quick, let me shout out a couple of people. And then Larry, we have, I think, 2 more slides, and then we're going to take questions and comments in the end. We have Tina. Thank you so much. Yes, there is a number. Again, join us right now, Tina, right here live on the Zoom, which we will be answering questions in the end. Tina, we want you to come on. I know it's probably late. You're thinking you're too late. You're not too late. The number is 436-903-4585 on Zoom. You don't have a password. 436-903-4585. If you want to ask anybody any questions now, because not everybody's accessible on WhatsApp, but for those that are watching and you want to join our WhatsApp, all you have to do is just dial in 347-617-6873 and send Anaya a message. Say, Anaya, I want to be a part of your group. I love the information this evening, and I want to stay, on board. And then we accept you in, and then you communicate with all of these great people that are on. And for Robert Joseph, I don't think you're on Team ECI, sir. So I'm going to need you to jump on it. Thank you. Thank you. And God bless. So you know the number. I'm going to drop it in the link real quick. Okay, Mr. Joseph. Okay, so real quick, Larry has 2 more slides, and then Dr. Magali has her hand up. We're going to take her and anybody else that has any questions or comments or concerns. Go ahead, Larry.
Hold on, wait a minute. What we're going to do is we're going to allow the king to speak. Mr. Joseph been waiting to speak for 10 minutes.
For
Go
real?
ahead, Mr. Joseph.
Go ahead, Mr. Joseph. I didn't look, Larry.
No, not 10 minutes.
Interrupt.
And like I said, I want to add about, like Larry was saying about the collection. I'm going to add more, a little bit about the collection. And I had so many people talking about when you have collection, don't pay your collection. I had so many people, especially the creditors. the people who do, especially the people who do credit repairs, always tell people don't pay your collection. I'm not here to tell you pay, but if you plan to buy your next property, your next house, your next dream home, my advice to friend and family, customers, my client, I always tell them, okay, listen, if you have a collection, one collection can cost you about over 30 something points, okay? And if you have a collection, when you buy a mortgage, if you over like $900, they're gonna make you pay. They're gonna make you pay. And versus if you check your credit score to the 3 month ahead, to a 3 month ahead, you negotiate with the collection, you pay him some whatever, 20%, 30%, 40%, whatever you agree on with the collection agency, and you pay it and ask to remove it, and you can put your credit score maybe like another extra 20, 30, 40 points. And you're gonna earn a lot based on the interest that you're gonna have. And like I said again, and the DTI, all that's gonna affect your DTI. And if you own something, you know you own it. You use your credit card, for instance. You use it. Maybe you're not in position to pay. You fall behind. That's fine. But if you have to pay, because when it's on your credit score, it's not gonna get out until 7 years. You're gonna affect your credit score for 7 years. Like they said before, if you're in the financial, you can't. Like for instance, if you're in a mortgage, you're in a financial, they check your credit. If you have a bad credit, you're probably not gonna be able to get your license. And second, if you're looking for a good job, if you're looking for a job, especially a law enforcement type job, they check your credit score. They check if you old people. If you old people, how you gonna? Hey, they check those things. And if you wanna be successful, if you wanna take the 2022, whatever what you have, you plan for the 2022. You have to work on your credit score. You have to work on your credit score. It's gonna help you, because if you have good credit score, you can have a credit card. You get like maybe like 12% interest. You got 8% interest. But if you don't have it, it's 30%. So you have to work on it. You pay more money over time when you don't want to pay $200-300 you owe. And $300 you owe on the collection agency, you might lose a mortgage. That can make you not qualify. Some people don't qualify for $300-400 based on the DTI. Because let me give an example. If your DTI is 50%, because $300 can make it 51. If it's 51, you can't get the property. You're not gonna get it because the bank not gonna give it to you. Simple as that. So you have to work on it.
Tell people what the DTI is real quick, because some people don't understand these acronyms. Thank you.
The DTI, that's how they control, basically they control how much money you make, okay? How much money you make based on how much you can spend, okay? You get like, you're working for $10,000, you're working for $10,000 a month, you're a doctor, you're a professional, make $10,000 a month, you can't spend more than 50% of that money for a mortgage. Okay.
Oh no, Mr. Robert, what she wanted you to tell the people is that the DTI is the debt to income ratio.
Debt to income ratio, yes.
You gotta talk to people, not saying people are stupid, but people who don't know the vernacular that we do, you gotta say, because when you say DTI, it can mean anything.
Yes, especially since we are in the hip hop industry in the world now, everything is an acronym and a meme and things of that nature. So he's referring to
yes, you just give him what it means. Is a debt to income ratio, but I try to go over it to explain them exactly. But that's very important. That's very important. And if you think about buy a house, and especially the people who like to shop, be careful when you're shopping. Everywhere you go, they pull your credit. I know if they always said, if you shopping, they pull it like different place, but every 2 point, 3 point different. Because let me tell you why 2 point can be a make the difference. If you do an FH, if you want a conversion, you need 620. And I've seen people 619 who want to do FH, they can have 2 FH because they're 619. 1 point can make a difference. It depends where you fall to that 1 point.
Wow.
Right.
Okay. Okay. So if you want something, you want to work with someone, get somebody, work with that person you can trust. Whoever you can trust that person, work with that person, and the person can guide you what you need to do in the next few months, what you need to do to put yourself in a position to get what you're looking for. And not even do by the mortgage. And everything, when you get good credit, everything in your life changed. Everything in your life changed. I have people I know who got American Express credit card, unlimited. They don't have no money, it's unlimited. You can buy whatever, a million, because based on they have a good credit score. They pay their bill on time. That's all you have to do. And like I said again at the beginning, what I do for my son is not magic. I've been in the system, I know what they're gonna do. I prepare him for the past 5 years. When he was 15, I about to prepare him.
Wow.
I've been working things since about 5 years ago until to get to that point today. And that's how we have to do it.
I love it. Well, Larry, since you let Dr. Robert go, we have 2 more hands up. Is that okay, Larry, before you end?
Go ahead.
All right. We have Dr. Magali, who's been waiting patiently. Dr. Magali?
Yes, I have. Actually, I think Mr. Joseph touched on some of the things I wanted to say, but there's what's called a soft inquiry that they can make into your credit.
Yes.
And there's a hard inquiry where the hard inquiry can be reflected on your credit report for about 2 years. Bad credit stays on your credit report for 7 years, as mentioned, and bankruptcy is reflected on your credit for 10 years. So people,
it
excuse
depends
me?
on the chapter of bankruptcy.
Yes, whether it's chapter 7 or chapter 11 or 13.
Yeah, it depends on the chapter. Because all bankruptcies ain't the same.
Yes, you right, Robinson. Yes, based on the chapter, it could be 7 or 10 years. You are
Okay.
Perfect. Go ahead, Dr. Magali.
But so I just want to end with as we continue to have these sessions, we need to think about how we can empower people if they're engaging in home ownership, how we can inform them about short sales and foreclosures.
Dr. Magali, you are hitting the nail on the head. This is what I'm looking into now. So let's have a conversation offline.
Can I add something? Can I add something quickly?
Real quick, because we have Dr. Exuma there. Yes, sir.
Okay. What I was adding, especially people who self-employed, people who working for group home, who get in 1099, who wanna buy, if you wanna have 1099, you think you wanna buy a property, you wanna buy your home, you wanna buy a car, make sure you don't cheat on your tax. Make sure you don't try to teach on your tax, because they're not using your pay stub. You don't have pay stub. They're gonna use your tax. They're gonna use your tax. Basically, you have to do your tax correctly. Tell whoever the tax professional who's gonna do your tax, let them know you're gonna buy a house. You can have a good tax. Don't cheat on your tax, because I've seen people who working for decent money, because they try to claim so many things who not even like, then I may make like $100, $200 based on what they claim, but they want to buy a property, they can't buy the property. If you got a 1099, you want to buy a property, I'm gonna say it again, make sure you let the professional who doing your tax, you buying the property. He's gonna know how to help you out.
Perfect. Thank you, Robert Joseph. Oh yes. Dr. E's hand is up.
Okay, I'm not gonna be long because, okay, basically a couple of things I wanted to add to. The debt to income ratio, basically, this is a measurement that they do. They look at your income and they look at how much money you owe. For example, if you make $100,000 a year, and they look at your debt, and your debt is about $90,000, and they're going to divide that by the 100,000, and that's how much. That's the percentage of money that the amount of money that you're going to be allowed to take. For example, you're making 100,000, 90,000 divided by 100,000. It's going to give you a ratio, and that ratio will be considered as 10% of the amount of money that you're making if you want to balance your income and debt. So basically, why I want to add something on this is that the more you owe, the less money you can borrow. That's the rule. This is what they are looking at that. The more you owe, the less money you can borrow.
That's very important.
Yeah. And also the other impact on your financials is basically, if you're going to buy a house, you're going to incur an increase in loan rate when your DTI is elevated. So the more you owe, the more you're going to have, the bigger will be your interest on the loan that you take. Because whatever it is, it just shows that you are not being cognizant with your finances. This is the translation. And you've been buying all the things that you need and you don't. And you bought too much that you can really, it's like you buy too much that you could chew.
Yes.
So basically, they're going to look into that and they will make a comparison and make a decision based on this. They will also make a decision and actually, this is something you can find in your credit report. If you ask for the credit report and you get all these reports, like from the 3 major companies, and you look at them, they all going to tell you how much money total you owe and what your income is. And then they might even give you a score on that. And the second thing is that the credit that you're going to get from the bank, credit is usually inversely proportional to your loan. So basically, it's the same as saying that the more credit you have, the less of a loan you can acquire. So these are really important. So especially, that's why I agree with the mortgage. I can't remember his name. I don't know, Joseph?
Yes, Mr. Robert
Okay.
Joseph.
Mr. Joseph, yeah. So basically, you need to be very careful. And especially when you're buying stuff. And we know that in America, a lot of people, they want to buy stuff they don't even use, or they don't even have time to use.
Right.
So basically, you need to look into this, and you need to start like 5 years before you even think about purchasing a house and getting a mortgage. Because sometimes the bank will go as far as 3 years worth of either your taxes, if you have a 1099, or your paycheck. 2 or 3 years, they're going to go back to look into how have you been spending money and how much money you were making within that 3 years prior to you asking for a mortgage. So it's important to start early before you even consider doing that. That's all.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Pierre Exuma. Such great information. We have been hitting every nail on the head tonight. I'm super excited. This information is invaluable for those that are watching. Please stay in touch with us, 347-617-6873. Larry, let's get the last slides out, and then we can open it up for last comments, last people that have just joined us. I see somebody who just joined us, but let's go ahead with the last 2 slides, Larry.
Yeah, so right here, this is NerdWallet's best lenders for low and no down payment mortgages for 2022. Of course, they made this list because of, the accomplishments that these institutions did last year. So if anybody wants to take time to write down the institutions, of course, Quicken Loans for best overall zero low down payment lender.
Oh, this is excellent. This is
Rocket
excellent.
Mortgage, best for online experience. Same for SoFi. PNC, best for traditional lending experience. Truist Bank and Citibank, best for first-time home buyers. Navy Federal, best for low credit score or non-traditional credit history. So like I said, these are what NerdWallet's rankings are as far as all the institutions. If you go somewhere else like a bankrate.com, you may have other institutions on there. So these are just NerdWallet's. Like I said, and I trust NerdWallet. It's a credible source for financials. So, but those two, NerdWallet and Bankrate, those are my top 2 go-tos when it comes to any type of financial information.
Larry, what's the website? www.nerdwallet.com.
Yeah, you can go to nerdwallet.com. Yeah, you could just Google Nerd Wallet.
Perfect. This is great, guys. For those that are watching, that's taking notes. This is excellent. Okay. And then if you want the slideshow presentation, ask me and I can definitely get that to you.
Hey, Larry.
Oh, right here.
Oh,
this
sorry,
is
here
what
it
I
is,
did.
right here.
It's a simple Google search.
Google search.
And I did, and all I put into Google is little to no money down. So you know the Nerd
Okay,
Wallet
so
pops up.
okay. How when you say no down payment, zero down payment? So basically, FHA or conventional required you to put money down. Okay. So is the bank gonna pay for the down payment, or they're gonna give you grants? How?
Pay for it.
So when they pay for it, do they give them a high interest rate? Basically tell me, they give them the high interest rate or the same interest rate they will qualify for?
Whatever that rate is, based on whatever your credit is, of course, you know, as a mortgage company, everybody has an interest scale. You might give somebody an interest rate of, like you said, 2.25. Zero down. Of course, with Navy Federal, they more so tailored towards the veterans. That's why I kind of said ignore that one, because with Navy Federal, you're not gonna put nothing down. I've been through Navy Federal and Veterans United. You don't have to put no money down.
But this is why you need to be careful, because remember, if you get a VA loan, it's two different things with FHA and conventional.
Right.
Okay, not because you had a VA loan, you don't put no down payment. Because I know some banks, there are some banks who, like I know AFR who give people zero down payment because they give you grants and to cover they pay for the down payment for you, but they raise your interest rate by 2 points.
Now, what's their interest rate?
Whatever interest rate you have, if they're gonna pay for you between 2 to 3% down, 2 to 3% down, they raise it by 2 points.
Say that one more time.
Okay, let's say you're gonna get a FHA loan. Your interest rate was supposed to be like 3.5, right?
Well, the interest rate is 3.5 or the down payment is 3.5.
No, I'm talking about the interest rate. I'm not a down payment.
Right.
The interest, let's say your interest was 3.5. Okay. Now you want them to pay the down payment for you. Now they're gonna raise it by 2 points. That's when you're gonna have like 5.5% interest rate.
Now, why would they raise it?
Because they pay the money back for you. The money they pay for you, they gotta get it back. Just like
you mean if I don't do the 3.5, they're gonna raise it.
Say again?
You mean if I don't put the 3.5 down, or because they don't just raise the rate. So I'll give you this. When I bought my first house, it was 0% down. All right. The only thing they told me I had to pay was the origination fee.
You have VA loan. You have VA loan, right?
Right.
Okay, you go to back same thing. VA is different with FHA conventional.
Correct.
And origination fee, just like the origination fee. Some bank, you can make the bank pay origination paid for you, but if they paid for you, your rate gonna be high up. Every time the bank pay money for you, they're gonna get it from through the rates. And simple is that.
Now, when I got my VA loan and all I paid was the origination fee, they didn't touch my rate.
I'm saying you as a VA loan. I'm not talking about VA loan.
Right.
You correct with VA loan. But if you want a conventional loan, you go come out with zero down payment, or if you have like a government loan, like for instance, like agriculture loan, if you're gonna get agriculture, yes, it's zero down. But if you're gonna FHA and conventional, if you come with zero down payment, your rate gonna be high.
I don't know if conventional offers the zero down payment though. I think that's where I'm getting mixed up. I don't think they, like I said, that's why I said I know they offer the 3% and 5% down, but I don't know if conventional offers 0%.
But you are mentioning about the bank. I need something with zero down payment, something like that, right?
No, it says 0 to. Go back to the slide, Anaya.
Okay.
I thought it said 0 to low.
Hold on 1 second. Facebook. I gotta go in our, okay, hold on, Larry. I thought we were done with the slides, y'all. I apologize. This is so good. Either way, one thing I want to say while we're looking for these slides again is this: point blank simply said and stated from before, and now that we're having the last slide, etc. Black folks were never supposed to have nothing. Black folks were never supposed to learn about none of this. So this is why I do what I do, especially in our communities, because not only am I getting empowered and educated, but I'm hoping that others garner this, information, learn this information, and really try their best to go forward in life and not, stay in public housing or, just feel defeated all the time, because this is imperative for you to know, guys. Like I said, there are so many people watching on Instagram and Facebook tonight. I am so loving every week we're growing more and more. But I think this is the slide, right, Larry?
Okay,
Yeah,
yes.
that's it. Yeah, it says
Okay.
0 down payment option. Now, with that, of course, if you're working with that institution, which I've never worked with Alliant. I just, I'm pulling this off the internet. But you're right. If it's a 0 down payment and you don't have to pay nothing, they might bump your rate up.
Of course, they're gonna wait. They're not gonna give you money for free.
Listen, don't forget.
Go to them then.
This is why I mentioned earlier, because remember the great bust in 2007. I owned property in Atlanta, and literally I know a little something. I was super, super young. All I knew was I wanted to sell my property before the government took it, because they were trying to take all the properties in this particular area and do a lot of gentrification. But long story short, it was like God spoke to me and was like, sell ASAP, right? Because there was a lot going on in downtown Atlanta at the time, and I lived right near the Georgia Dome and all of that. But fast forward, because I listened to my intuition and the great God above, I sold, and then we had that major bust. Why? Because people were not educated in these loans. People didn't understand the different value systems and what is a balloon mortgage, what is a low interest this, or whatever the different. Robert is here to explain that more, but this is what we went through in 2007, where the economy basically came crumbling down because all these loans were out there, and then they started to inflate, and these companies are just so crazy. They did whatever they wanted, and then they got bailed out, right? People lost their homes, insane amount of money was lost in our communities, and our Black communities were the most affected.
That's because them banks was giving loans to people who really couldn't afford them.
Because they didn't care.
Robinson, look at Flagstar. Flagstar best for overall 0 and low down payment. 0 or low down payment. Based on whatever. If you want 0 or low, it's gonna cost you nothing for free.
It's gonna cost you something, but I'm not sure if it affects the rate.
Okay, no problem. Go ahead.
No, I'm not sure. Like I said, I always tell people contact the institution, because I can sit here and show you something, but then when you talk to a mortgage specialist, they'll tell you something else.
But like I said, that's what I do every day. I deal with, and I don't deal with one bank. I deal, because I'm a wholesaler. I deal with approximate about 30 some banks.
Okay.
So like Quicken Loan, I used to work with Quicken Loans. I don't broker for Quicken Loans anymore, because there's a conflict of interest between Quicken Loan and UWM. You have to pick one. But most of them, the Quicken Loan is the same one with Racket Mortgage right now. It's the same bank. It's Quicken Loan is the Racket Mortgage. It's the same bank.
So it's the same people.
Yeah, they changed the name from Quicken to Racket.
Okay.
Because they're a bunch of racketeers. I think that's
and they give you 2 different information.
That's what these people
do.
No
problem. Let's move on.
Okay. Dr. Magali had something she wanted to share, but I think she's gone. Oh, she said good night. Okay. Good night. Oh, she's gone. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Well, Larry, so we're done with the slide then?
Yeah, we're done. That was it.
Wow. What a great night tonight. If anybody has any questions or concerns, please, now is the time to share. We are going to end in just a few minutes. About 9:15 is hopefully the shutdown time. Let me just share again, 347-617-6873. is our WhatsApp team number.
I got something to say.
Go ahead, sir.
Did the queen modeling take notes?
I hope she did. I know she did.
She had a notepad ready.
I did. I took some really good notes. Thank you.
You're welcome, beautiful. You're welcome. And you know what? We were supposed to have an update from last week. Did anybody call NACA? To get information about those rates and getting help buying a home? That was a part of the homework, Miss Modeling. Did we call NACA last week or this week?
But you know, when you call about rates are variable, especially when you're dealing with the mortgage industry. Like, you can have a rate. You could have had a rate last Wednesday and that rate be different this Wednesday.
Right.
It's not even that. You can be like, you got it 9 o'clock in the morning, by 11, it changed.
Yeah.
Change, you're right. That thing changed like the wind.
That's why people have to be more knowledgeable and educated. But again, let's go back to one last thing. We're shutting down by 9:15, guys. I know a lot of people are just probably listening like this is a lot of information tonight. I want you all to chime in. We have about 7 or 8 more minutes. And then don't forget, next week we have a very powerful presentation by Dr. Exuma and Dr. Magali, which I can't wait to get that update, because especially right now during the COVID, a lot of people need to know more about life insurance policies, as well as the future planifications. The reason we don't have nothing is a lot of times we're spending right now. But let me just share that I'm so glad, I think it was Larry or somebody brought this up about Black folks and why we don't have access to a whole lot, and the credit thing, and how, our people are just, in the past, our communities were suffering so much and they would put stuff in the children's name, etc. Let me tell you guys something. We are coming out of a very bad predicament as Black people. Whether or not we were the first freed community that was freed, like Haiti, I obviously have gone back 3,000 years, but I'm not going to start on Haiti tonight. But what I'm saying is Black people generationally should not have anything. So what happened with our people in the past, our our ancestors, as well as those that came before us, maybe a couple of generations or what have you, they were on survival mode. They didn't know no better. They didn't have this information. They were beaten, they were abused, they were raped, they were ostracized, when they were supposed to get something, from this government and reparations and things of that nature, they never got it. So it was always the plan of the most racist community ever to keep us enslaved. But this is why things like this is so beautiful that we do. Every one of you have a different skill set. Every one of you have a different platform. You have education in different communities. And to see all of you beautiful Black people joining us and sharing this information to empower our people, that is what I am so excited about. We have doctors, we have mortgage brokers and entrepreneurs and business people. We have, educators. We have, those, David, with mental health, literally was a counselor. We have so many people here that are making a difference in our communities. I just wanted to leave that last thought as, we shut down tonight, that yes, our communities in the past, they didn't have nothing. They screwed up big time, but they didn't know. They didn't understand. And we have to look forward to the future so that we can help our children and our generations to come, because it's not fair that only a certain amount of people can have something. And I love the thought and the slogan where, if you know better, you do better. Or like in New York City, when you take the train and the bus, if you see something, say something. That's what we're doing tonight, right? We seeing that we can make changes and we can be amazing. And we're saying it, we're putting it in the universe. So I'm super excited. And I feel like change is going to come for our Black people. That's where I wanted to end it. Anybody else?
Wait, Anaya, can I say something? I would like to shout out my bestie, Galaxy 10, for joining us. She's starting her home buying journey. And I know it's not easy, you have to do a lot. It's a lot of work. I did look into NACA, but I bought my house last year. And so it's only for first-time mortgage owners. But Larry, I'm looking for now like to investing. So I'm working on myself, working on my credit, working on my business, because the next thing I want to jump into is what is it?
Is real estate investing.
Real estate,
Yeah.
right?
Me and you could talk about that offline. We can talk
Yes.
about that.
No, you guys need to talk about it in the group messages so we can know too. We want to be investors too, Larry. Don't be having sidebar conversations with modeling. Y'all better share it publicly. We want to know.
He knows I'll take detailed notes and share with the group anyway. But I
You know
wanted
what I'm
to
saying? And hold on, now, you know,
talk
hold on, now. We in the secret society. We
Don't
can only
play.
tell certain things.
Don't play, Larry. Don't have no secret society without everyone. All jokes aside, let me just share this real quick, and then we have other comments for sure. All jokes aside, you know, we had recently somebody who left Team ECI because they fell out or they felt some kind of way about different things because they were trying to do things under the table type. And so I just know I'm joking, but I'm not, because what I don't want to happen is literally when we start that whole momentum where it's like secret society, as Larry, you know, says, it's really not, but you know what I mean? What happens is sometimes things could get misconstrued and then issues occur. I'm not saying that's going to happen in this particular case, but as you guys just saw, one person in particular that was, you know, supposed to be a ride or die, a part of this from day one, they felt some kind of way as they were trying to push something, and then they caused a lot of havoc and it turned ugly. So I say that publicly because we have a lot that we want to do with Team ECI, by the way. As I stated before, let me just share this. We have people that are watching us. We have a lot of people that are watching us. I have meetings all the time in regards to business when I'm feeling well. As you guys know, I have a rare condition and sometimes I shut down. And that's why sometimes you guys don't see me as often. But when I do feel good and I have a lot of energy, I'm in these meetings, I'm speaking with people a lot of times face to face about expanding our communities and growing. So I wanted to share that with you guys. So when you see us having these, you know, sessions and things like that, understand we have a lot of eyes watching and listening. Sometimes people are watching and listening to see how far we're going to go, to see if the information we're putting out there is positive, is amazing, our lives being changed. And I want you guys to keep that into account, because even when we don't know the people, I know a few of them. And again, I'm a public figure on national television and things of that nature. But even though right now I can't be because of the pandemic, I still have a lot of production friends, a lot of celebrity friends that are constantly watching, that are listening, and that DM me, that call me, that message me, and they want to see us do more. So I wanted to leave you guys with that nugget that if you stick with your girl Anaya A, if you stick with Team ECI, we have a lot farther that we're going. And we also have something that we want to share in regards to, you know, Times Square and billboarding and different things like that to expand our team, but also our individual businesses, because it's all about marketing. So I just wanted to share those things with you. If you have companies, if you have businesses, if you want to be able to market your entity in a number of places, especially in places like, you know, Times Square and things of that nature, let me know. And we're working on that as well, because I know a lot of you are business owners separately. So I just wanted to share that we are moving and we are growing. So there's a lot more to come, but thank you. I just had to share that. So I know Madeline and Larry, they got business to take care of, but literally, I'll see what we just went through with somebody. Woo! We're not going through this again. Thank you. Tony, Dr. Eczema, you are hands up. Your hand is up.
Okay, yeah, it's just to share, especially with the young lady, I think Madeline.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait because there are many ways to invest in real estate. And while you're preparing maybe to purchase homes and resell, maybe flipping, or I don't know what you want to do, but the information that I have for you tonight, and especially I want people to know that I'm not telling you that you should invest. This is not our purpose here. Our purpose is for you to get the information and you decide on your own what you do with it. So basically, there are about 23 real estate stocks that you can start investing in case you're interested to start right away, especially if you're already dealing with stocks, okay? So that's
Dr.
one thing.
Eczema, you better just drop that in the group chat. What? Oh my God. You're holding out information too, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna drop it. And
Thank
the
you.
second thing that I want to say, we had a discussion about the points between, I think, Joseph, the mortgage guy, and Larry. Basically, what I want to say for the both of you and everyone else listening, especially the Queen, Anaya, is that a mortgage basically it's a good, and it follows the same rules as supply and demand, which is pure economics. So when a lot of people are either buying or selling, your rate will increase or decrease tremendously.
Mm.
So basically, you can go in the morning early on, and then you get a 3.5% interest rate on your mortgage. You come back the same day around 12 p.m. because the market surged, a lot of the demand increased, especially within the stocks that are dealing with real estate. And you come back, they tell you you're going to now be charged 4% interest rate, which is big because we're talking about percentage point. I want people to also understand that. There's a big difference between 3.05% and 3.5%. Okay? That's about 10,000 percentage point that you're going to be paying as an increase. So basically, people are saying that, and the banks, they do their rules as they see fit, especially based still on the supply and demand. A lot of the banks that are giving mortgages out there, they buy their mortgage, their loan from Fannie Mae. Fannie Mae stocks increase, their rate increases. So it's all about supply and demand. That's all I had to say for now.
Thank you. You know what? I'm telling you, all of these nuggets, all of this information, I am literally just swallowing it up like a glass of water on a hot day. Like, you know, I wasn't good in, look, he has his glass. I got mine too. Thank you, sir. I wasn't good in math.
I don't think that's water y'all got.
No, that's water, Larry, with berries in it, sir. You know what? Larry always here to start so best. Thank you, Dr. E. Thank you. Oh, wait,
Look
it
at
isn't
Dr.
water.
See, I told you that's not water.
Oh, I'm done. Yo, Dr. E, do not let Larry know that. Oh my God.
Look.
That's water.
You got the Zephyr Hills. Okay.
That's water.
Well,
I
that's
wanted
the
to
healthy
see
water. That
somebody.
Zephyr Hills is the healthy water.
You know what? On that note, look,
You got
Monica
that
laughing.
pure water down there in Florida. Okay.
Listen, I'm so done with all of y'all. Listen, that was so funny. Anyway, with that being said, we are shutting it down. I love you guys so much. I wasn't good in math, so learning these little things that we're sharing is so imperative for my life, because I didn't even realize about this half a percentage can be a 10,000 of a point, whatever the hell he's talking about. But anyway, it's super important for us to know this stuff, and I'm so happy we know this stuff. Larry, don't you say nothing, Larry, crazy. Don't say
I gotta say something about you and
Go
modeling.
go ahead, Larry.
I gotta say, is modeling still here?
Who?
Modeling.
She's still here. She sure is.
I gotta say something. I like you and modeling's hair. Y'all did y'all thing with y'all's hair.
Thank you, Larry. Don't you start, Larry. I know what you talk about with my hair. Don't play with me. Modeling, I was going to tell you, I love your head wrap for real, sister. I love it.
I love it, yeah.
Robert Joseph and Larry are going to get along so well because you both...
Anaya, my wife say hi.
Hi, beautiful. She's a
Bring the wife in the camera. Bring Mrs. Mortgage in. Mrs.
No,
Mortgage.
she's a doctor. She's can I tell them she's a big pharmacist? She's amazing. Robert, tell the doctor to come and join us. We want to see her.
She just get home, so another day.
Okay, well, tell her I have to talk to her later. We have some great things to talk about.
You say that every day, Anaya. And I say he's stuck to you.
I love you both so much. I love you guys so much.
Dr. Eczema, we need some of that Jesus juice you got.
No problem. Anytime, brother.
We need some of that Jesus juice. Look at that water. But look, Mr. Joseph got the water, but Dr. Eczema turned it to wine. So we good.
We good.
That's the best wine. Best wine.
I'm glad this team is full of life and laughter.
Anyway, one thing I want to add, I believe Alexi was talking about it, and also Mr. Pierre Zuma was talking about it, about the next generation wealth. But I think the only reason we have to do it, if we have to talk about the next generation wealth, we have to start like, we have to copy how Jewish does it, how the Chinese people does it.
How the Jewish do, I say it all the time.
How the Chinese does it, even how the Cuban do it. We have to give our own people the first shot. We don't wait until like 3, 4, 5 people turn you down. Now you go around to look for your own people. If you have like, for instance, you got some good people in the community who give you a good service, take the service from them. It's the same thing. But we need to stop. For instance, sometimes on the real estate, sometimes the people check a real estate agent because he don't have money. His money shit. When he got good money, he look for Spanish people. He look for white people. We need to go to our own source. We have to do it like the Chinese people do it. The money has to stay in the community, and the black community, like maybe like go around like 10, 15 people before he left the community. If we just take the money, take it to another community, we're still gonna be poor. We're still gonna talk about the same thing. That like generation gonna talk about the same problem.
Thank you. Listen, like I said, y'all keep dropping these nuggets and we're gonna be here all night, but this is where we end with that last thought. I'm so excited about everything that we did tonight. Galaxy, I know you're probably busy, Galaxy 10E. We will hopefully, Ari, don't you start.
Hold on, before we get off,
That's my bestie. She joined us.
Oh my God, she didn't want to say anything to us. She doesn't love us.
It's okay, bring the bestie on too. But I gotta say this before we get off. I want to see Modelin's hair wrap. That joint was legendary.
Legendary. Modeling, you don't have to show your head wrap.
Modeling, show that hair wrap.
I cannot with you.
But I tell you,
the head wrap.
Him and Robert Joseph and Dr. Exuma, I can't. Oh.
Look at the head wrap. That joint hard.
He loves the head wrap. The baby's so cute. Hi. Modeling, how old is the baby?
This now baby, he's 2.
He's so cute. He looks little bitty in your arms. Hey, cutie.
Now she got me wanting to sing. If we were made in his image, then call us.
Bye.
Yeah, this is my head wrap. Thank you for making fun of it. Thank you. I
like the hair wrap, girl.
It's beautiful. I love it.
Tell Galaxy S10 to tap in so we can see her hair wrap too. Wrap too.
No, I know what can make Larry sing. I didn't know you were a singer.
Oh my God.
It's one of her hair on a weekly basis.
Listen, look, that head pat right there. Now you know what makes Larry sing. Head wraps and babies. Yes, that's it.
Yes, yeah.
Right there.
Definitely.
Guys, join us next week. Stay in touch, guys. It's been a long day on my end. I'm so looking forward to having a conversation with Dr. E and Dr. Magali in regards to maybe by tomorrow or even Friday, Dr. E. Larry, no more. I'm done with Larry. Listen,
no, hold on.
David,
We've been talking the whole time, and my brother ain't got to speak yet. We still got David McFly on here.
He said he don't have. I was just shouting him out. He don't have no energy for us tonight. He said, but he's been here the whole time. David McFly Mims will come back on next week with a lot more energy, especially with our new presentation. I was just gonna say that, sir. Great minds think alike. With that said, share this platform. Let's grow. Your homework, everybody, is to call NACA if you need NACA next week. Let me know if you need that phone number in the group link. Look into what did we say earlier? Oh, mortgage rates in your communities. Let's see how things vary. Let's see if it's state by state. Drop some information. Dr. E was going to drop some information as well. He just mentioned, you said you were going to drop some information about stock options for real estate. I think stock options for real estate, Dr. E, that's a part of your homework, sir. And Dr. E and myself and Dr. Magali will have a conversation about next week's platform. Everybody's homework is to invite at least 3 people next week. Miss Modeling is already on top of it. She already invited Galaxy. And listen, you don't have to go home, but you got to get up out of here because we are done, Black people. I love you. Bye, baby. Bye, everybody. The link for YouTube will be dropping very soon on the group message 347-617-6873. Thank you, Robert Joseph. Go ahead, Dr. E. Go ahead, David McFly. Go ahead, Galaxy. I love all of you. Dr. E, you guys are amazing tonight. God bless you. Robert, I'm calling you very soon, Robert. I am going to call. Brother, I promise. I can't hear you. You're on mute.
You calling me next year? Because the last year you told me you're gonna call me. You called me.
Robert, you know I love you.
I love you too.
Last year was last month.
Okay, but you still a year. You still 1 year.
I know.
Guys, we will talk.
Madeline, if you need more information, and get my number from Anaya, and I'll tell you more about real estate stocks.
Well,
nice to meet you, Mr. Pierre.
You're gonna drop it in our group message on WhatsApp, please, right, Dr. E?
I will.
Perfect. Robert, I'm gonna drop you the WhatsApp link so you can join us. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.